Hello and welcome back to another episode of Medieval 2 Total War, Third Age Total War Divide and Conquer submod.
No sleeping here.
Still kind of a lengthy title, but that's fine. Where did we leave off? Oh right, you. I don't like you. You. Bad people. Bad people. Don't like bad people. Need to punish bad people. Yes. What is our current situation? Do we have Fenestrun in? It's well defended, clearly. We are about to lose Noxaragla, and it's... I'm actually surprised by the income in this settlement. Other than that, I think we are about to start our offensive against Breland. Because I think that the Northern Dundine will not be much of an issue. Let's see.
Tomorrow's journey awaits.
Diplomat. I do have money. I do not want to spend money here. Here would be a better place to spend money. But even then, it's not a great place. 5 generals bodyguard. I don't think I need more.
No sleeping here.
But whatever units we have. And mercenaries do we have available? You're not too expensive. How much money am I making? Yeah, I can afford it. Retinue expands. Mercenary captain. Well, why not? You have 2 free upkeep slots along with 2 here. But I do want to actually be able to make some money at some point. So I'm not going to spend all my money right now because the HMS economy is going to crash again. I'm pretty sure of that. This is going to be a fun battle. Funny that they're not actually going for the other city, which they wouldn't even need to attack in the first place, since there's no garrison at all. What kind of garrison I have here? 1 unit of Goblin Band. Can't do much with the unit of Goblin Band. They'll stand there and they'll die. And particularly if they bring in the pikemen. That would be a terrible, terrible time. Burn timers are not as good as base Medieval 2, because in vanilla they take like 1 second. But then again, this is a mod with a lot of scripts running in the background. Mission failed. Send emissary to the dwarves of Khazad-dûm. Well, oh, for fuck's sake. I can lose Fenestrun in. That's fine-ish. Thing is, if they have this settlement, one thing I could do. Yeah, one thing I'm going to do. MTU.
Ready for fighting. Orcs, get ready for fighting.
And I'm basically just going to send a bunch of units down there. And that should be good. Should, yes.
Objective complete.
They didn't attack with a particularly impressive force. And I would like to kill off this army. I do want a watchtower here.
Ready. Hurry up.
I kill off this army, retake this settlement. And then I can just keep them moving back and forth while I actually have some sort of an army up in the north. I'll split my forces in half, which is not something I can really afford to do, but Oh yeah, speaking of HMS economy, it's already going to shit. 10 out of 10. Hopefully I'll be able to get a trade agreement with the Enedwaith, which might result in a bit of money for me. A bit, not a whole lot. And I'm hoping it'll be enough to keep me afloat. And again, being in the minors isn't necessarily that bad in Medieval 2. Because units don't take attrition, like they do in other Total War games. Certain other Total War games. Send emissary to the Dunlandings. Hopefully they could...
Without question, my lord.
Okay, now I'm starting to wonder. So I know there's a dumb, retarded river city somewhere.
At your service.
I was fairly certain it was here. But now I'm not
At once.
highly certain where it is.
Tomorrow.
Arbad, I think it was. See, now I'm actually starting to really wonder.
Get ready for fighting.
And it's like, where are you? Not sure. Breland don't have particularly strong units. They are about on par with my own units. Slightly better, of course, because they have cavalry and shit. Something I do not have, but... I'm not an AI. Which is inherently an advantage.
Objective. No sleeping here. Pick your feet up.
Now, time to send our economy down the drain. Ah, minus 1,000 per turn. Woohoo! Whoop-de fucking do. Minus 1,300 actually, to be more specific. You have... You archers, you have... Unknown.
This way. Hurry up.
The Region is controlled by the Mist Mountain still. Two Woodland Hunters, I don't remember them being too good. Archer Militia either. Farmhand Archers are poopy at best. So that's not a force I'm particularly concerned about. Dwarves are still not pushing towards here, and that's always good for me. They are still hanging around there. I just need to push them out of there. Get my units back into the garrisons. And then hopefully I'll be back to making money again. Though not a whole lot. But then again, I'll also be losing a few units next turn. Maybe it'll be enough to get me back in plus. 1,000 upkeep, not sure.
Orcs! Attack!
Northern Dunedain. Reasonable now. Oh, well, what a true shame. Swan. See, now I'm just curious.
Yes, lord. At once.
It's fairly certain it was up here. It's not up here. It was along one of the rivers because of. It's obviously above here. Did they remove it? I have no idea, and I'm really starting to wonder if they did. Because I remember it formed a natural barrier between the Dunlands and the Enedwaith.
Listen up! It will be an honor. Kill them all!
Oh, relations worsened with Bree. Reasonable. Well, I wouldn't want to upset them since we're such good friends, apparently.
Get ready for fighting. Let us settle matters. Attack!
Dwarven Travellers, Bunderbras Archers. Well, I guess we're going to take the Hobbit Sangwar. Now it seemed that a great goblin raid had been planned for that very night. The Hobbit. Oh. It's been a while since I read The Hobbit, so I'm not entirely sure which passage it's from. It might be just before they get to Goblin Town. It's been a long while since I read The Hobbit. Trying to recollect when. But it's really not easy. I also haven't read the Lord of the Rings books, technically, in a while. Contrary to popular belief, the books actually consist of 6, not 3 books, because each book, as they are normally known, is actually separated into 2 books each. Which is fairly uncommon for people to get that correct. It's a bit odd. Do you think that would be more common knowledge? I don't remember quite what the books are called, named though. Cavalry on that flank. Well, that will give my cavalry on this flank free reign. Axemen, halberds, spearmen. Move there. And move this. Bandits, poopy. Most of this stuff is poopy. Dunedain Rangers. They are not poopy, and I'm going to have to kill those quickly. Good thing they're putting themselves out of position. It's very nice of them. It's going to cost me a few cavalry, because they're going to get shot by archers, but meh. It's a sacrifice I can live with. Yep, that caused the AI to start moving forward. I should always be paying attention to their cavalry.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be
But they're
ours.
not too much of a problem right now. Going to charge there. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't mind losing a bunch of archers. That's perfectly fine for me. Especially if it means I can encircle their general. Now, there's no harm in throwing a few javelins into a friendly unit. Perfectly fine. These units are really strong. I do enjoy them. Because oddly enough, they function as skirmishers, but they have really good melee stats. Because I mean, if you look at my halberds, they have 548 versus the Oz. There we go. Whereas these, they have 6-3-11. So stat-wise, they're better than my. They're actually better than my words. Yeah, words are hard, but they're better than my halberds. Is what I'm trying to get at. But words escape me. Which is interesting, considering the upkeep is not that high. And the javelin attack is just broken. There's no real way around it, it's just straight up fucking broken. And now we charge. What are you actually fighting? Bodyguards. You know what? I'll sacrifice that cavalry unit. Is there any mercenaries? Can't really replenish them normally. And now that you fucking obliterate that unit, time to charge. You can disengage. Because the archers are already in a bad place for them. What sheriffs? They're dying in droves. Axemen, if you can go around these guys. Okay, you can disengage too. You can just go into melee. If you want to fight the halberdiers, have fun. Because you're gonna have a bad time.
The enemy force remains.
Oh, you're just gonna charge straight into there. Well, allow me to introduce you to the Axemen again. You've had the pleasure of meeting them already, I'm fairly certain. Oh, never mind, my Axemen are retarded. Fine, shoot at those. There we go. That you'll actually shoot at. Maybe? Yes? Maybe? Medieval 2's unit pathing has not exactly been perfect. And mods don't help with that. Still, a fantastic game, despite all its flaws. And it has plenty of flaws, make no mistake about that. But it's still one of my favorite games, for reasons that should be obvious. Move these forward now. Whenever they go near anything, whatever they go near will break. Well, looks like you're dead. Archer militia are not routing quite yet. Let's expedite the process by killing a few of them. That should make them nice and worried about their own lives. Once they are routing, yes, good. Good. There. How are things here? A big blob, which means whatever's inside of the blob is dead. I think their general ran away. Yes, he did. That's a shame. You are light cavalry, so you might be able to hunt him down. Now it's just all up to the cavalry. Well, you're supposed to hunt him down, not derp around. You aren't really much of a worry. No, I'm not going to be able to hunt him down. That's a shame. In which case, I'll just get the last little prisoners, because there's no reason not to. At least the XP is nice. Even though it's only a few, like, handful of kills, something like 5 or so. It's not a whole lot, but XP is XP. And I'm going to need every bit of it this campaign. So, yeah, a difference between fighting in the Northern Dunedain and Bree. If this was Dunedain, I'd have lost half my army. But since it's not, I barely lost any men. It also helps that I finally have cavalry, which helps tie up the archers, but even then the Northern Dunedain's archers are just so fucking broken, it's not even funny.
Have mercy, my lord.
See, if I ransom them and accept it, they're gonna have more units, and I'm still gonna be in the minus. So it's not really helping me.
It will be an honor defeating.
Ready. This way.
I respect you, my enemy.
Yeah, I think I'll just attack the settlement and let them join as reinforcements.
Destroy them.
Angmar battle. Since I do have somewhat of an advantage when it comes to units, because I have pikemen, I have a handful of halberds. It's not a whole lot of halberds I have, Jesus Christ, they're all dead. Oh, that makes me sad. Now, I should have paid more attention to where they're coming from, but I think they're going to come from this corner over here. What I'm going to do is set up the entire army, this, and I'm going to intercept them. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I want to keep the pikemen in back because they're so fucking valuable to me. Cavalry, you can stay on this flank, that's fine. So now, hopefully I'll be able to wipe out this army relatively quickly. And then I can deal with the few units that are in here. The only really dangerous thing are the woodmen because they're armor-piercing 200s. And in vanilla Medieval 2 they are broken because their attack speed is just shit. But it was fixed in Kingdoms. So they're actually good here too, because this is based on Kingdoms. Is this really something you want to do? Well, okay. I'm gonna tickle my archers, but meh. I don't care about my mercenaries, they're only costing me money. It's not like I can't easily replace them. And the rest of the army is unsurprisingly having issues keeping up. For some reason here I thought it was a good idea to rush through.
The battle is very much in our favor.
How many can you kill? They die a lot quicker than I thought. Goddamn, I wish these weren't classified as skirmishes though. It's kind of annoying. If I charge the lumbermen in the front with these, yeah, that might be a terrible idea. God damn it! Go there. You're going to lose a few cavalry, but eh. Well, that was a terrible charge AI. Pathfinding, well, something. Lost one.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
And the air's being dumb. I can live with that. Allows me to farm more kills. So I think I may want you to move a bit. They really want to kill my axemen for some reason. I have no idea why, but they really do. Oh well. Too bad for them. If I charge these forward, I should actually break them relatively easily. The general is nowhere nearby, and these are mostly trash units, which means the morale is on the lower end of the spectrum.
Like this, we will smash the enemy.
I don't need marches to do anything anymore. You can charge down there. These are already routing because they're archer militias. The watch sheriffs, they can put up a fight, but still just hobbits. 2-1-1-3. Actually, they can't even put up a fight. They are basically Snargus stalkers.
The enemy force remains.
Wavering. Shaken. Wavering. The Barrow-Whites nearby, they should rout relatively quickly. Broken. There you go. Cavalry can run them down. The Woodland Hunters are as good as dead. You do not need to know. Just no. That's probably killing a few more of my men than it is killing theirs. It's a bit iffy. Did we butcher everything here? Yes, we did. Good. Now I only really need to bring up the archers onto this flank. I should use groups, but I'm just too lazy. Da-da-da. Setting up troops is not that bad. It's not really any better in any other Total War game, so meh. Are you chasing down something? Yes, you are. You feel free to stop doing that. I don't need you to. Jesus, my mouth is really dry today. Need to stay hydrated. You are taking archer fire. Because, unsurprisingly, goblin archers are poopy. You can just move forward. I don't give a shit. Do I want to move in from another flank? Might as well. No reason not to. You can go over here. My axemen, which I have developed a kind of a love for. Really? Am I going to just have to send for like a handful of units just for this? Or will you just leave if I retreat my units? Hopefully you'll just leave. Now there's only one of the... Yeah, just fucking kill him. If he's dead, I'll be happy. And in typical fashion, units don't quite listen to orders. They kinda do, but they kinda don't. Well, that's something that even happens to the mod. Like, even the modern Total War games have that same issue. Oh, he's dead. Good, good. Enemy general fallen. Harry. Can't recall if he's a character from the books. There's more of you. And that's another general. I have no idea which is the one I fought first, and which is the one I fought over here. Because the one I fought first, he ran back into the settlement because he was the only survivor. So I'm not entirely certain which is which. Yeah, I should kill him. Shouldn't be a problem. You are not in danger. Okay, everything's fine. So the other day I was watching someone play, what was it? Paranormal Activity VR. That was interesting. Because it... The problem with VR in and of itself is the movement system. That is the biggest problem with VR because you just can't do movement right. You're either going to have some really, really wonky shit like you do in Gorn and LA Noire, or you're going to have to use the pad or something like that, which I can't imagine it feels right by any stretch of the imagination. Because you're talking about an environment which is you're supposed to... Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you really attacking that? Fine, I'll just fucking commit. God damn it. It's annoying. But yeah, you're looking at an environment where you're supposed to be first person and you're supposed to experience it as you, more or less. The problem with that is when you get wonky movement system is that it takes you entirely out of that. Now, I don't have VR myself, but I'm fairly certain I can speak in full confidence that that is indeed the case. Because I don't see any way that it isn't, simply put. Because it's such an obvious issue with VR that it's like, it's gonna happen. There's no way it can't happen. Like, the only way I really see doing movement right is if you manage to tie the movement to a pad on the ground which you can move around on, or as I've seen in some cases more akin to expos, where they have a cage, a VR cage, where people can move around in. Which is about the only real way I can see doing it. Not even to mention going into something as stupid as the hollow technology in Star Trek, which is completely and utterly absurd. Because if you look into it with just a slimmer of a critical eye, it's retarded. Like, sure, they have the usual technobabble to pretend it works.
Half their men.
But if you spend like half a second thinking about it, you're just gonna be left with, no, this doesn't work at all. Because, okay, first of all, the holosuites are small. That is shown throughout the series. They are extremely small. Only like 20 square meters in some cases. But somehow, people can walk around in them for forever, and forever, and forever, with no end in sight. And that's not even the biggest retarded issue with it, because what happens when you have two people inside of them and they start separating, because that also happens. Heck, there are episodes where they would be so far apart in the hollow room, hollow deck, yes, that was the correct term. Hollow suite was in Deep Space Nine, and that was kind of something different. But again, well, it's the same technology. But yeah, on the holodeck, like, you would have people so far away that they would have to be on the other side of the goddamn ship. Which is like, what? How does this make sense? Well, it's going well. We managed to get some actual money from that battle. But yeah, they're so far away, it's completely absurd. The technology just doesn't work. And I remember in one episode in Voyager, it was so dumb because they tried to pretend that was an actual limitation all of a sudden, so they had to start tearing down the ship and mounting holo projectors all over the ship. It was the episode with the, what are they called? Rojan? The hunter lizards that were totally not in any way Trandoshans. Totally not an obvious rip-off there, no. Which, yeah, that was just absurd because, like, oh, this limitation that never existed in the universe, cause magic is now suddenly a limitation, and then you're like, what? Why are you paying attention to this now? This was already established to never have been an issue in the first place. I remember that they did try to, explain it in a very, very, very terrible manner at some point. I don't remember exactly how they did it. I remember it was really dumb. I was like, no, don't even try. I remember it had... Fuck. I remember. I'm not even sure if I actually remember what they did, now that I think about it. I remember I was thinking about ways to make it possible when I was watching something like The Next Generation, but every idea I came up with was just as retarded as the first one. Because you're still left with like, well, this doesn't really work. So, yeah, But yeah, like, VR is always going to have the limitation of the fact that you can't really create something out of nothingness. You can do something like augmented reality, but even that would be really hard to do. Because God forbid, and like, not even only would it be hard to do, it would severely limit the technology and what you can do with it.
Victory will be ours.
Because you'd be limited to basically changing your surroundings rather than creating something new. Like, you couldn't create a whole new room. You would always have to change whatever you're around, so you could never say, let's say you wanted to create a whole new universe. Let's say you wanted to, let's say you wanted to put Skyrim in VR and do it like that. There's no way you could, because even with augmented reality, you would only be limited to changing whatever you have around you. So, that mountain in front of you, it's always going to be that mountain in front of you. You can change how it looks, but you can't change how you would interact with it. Because if you were to stretch out your hand into something that is not there in the AR, you would end up hitting something in actual reality. And that is kind of the limitation of VR. Until that... VR will always be looking at a screen. You will never have any weight to what you're doing, and that is the biggest limitation to VR in and of itself. Was this battle over already? Yes. Fighting Breland is so much easier. Jesus. So I don't have to deal with the overpowered archers. Let's ransom them. Worst case, they reject it. Now, actually, you have a wee bit of money. These are the Barrow Hills, I think. Barrow Hills somewhere around here. I could actually go up to Weathertop, which would put me at a nice situation if I take that. Let's just leave a few snorkels there. Yeah, that's fine. Because now, the AI will usually want to try to take Tidwin before it does anything else, because they usually don't strike into your territory past whatever border settlements you have, which is the advantage of doing stuff like this. You actually have a title, the Mauler. Might be because he lacks compassion. Only downside to this is that it doesn't really matter how much I buff his stats, because they start out at practical maximum as it is. Which is kind like the general units. It's the only thing that's carrying the Angmar.
Objective complete.
Let's see. The mine here is complete. I'd like to upgrade it, but I don't have the money and I don't have the income. Ballista Maker would not be a terrible idea, because Ballista will be extremely useful against the dwarves. But I do also want money. The downside. I don't think I can build anything in particular that gives me a whole lot of money. Build a hunting lodge here. Might not be the worst idea. I would like to build... have temples here. I'm not overly worried about being attacked. Don't have a whole lot of income. Hmm.
No sleeping here.
Decisions. Might as well get the ballista. They will be extremely useful against dwarves. But yeah, no, I was watching someone play in VR, and I watched people play in VR before, and no matter what, the movement always seems janky, and when they try to make it so that you move around while kind of simulating you moving, it really gets weird. One ring has been located in Imladris. Well, I could take it, or I could recognize the fact that I'm actually busy.
An honor, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Okay, done on these. I'd like an alliance with you,
No, we cannot agree.
but I'm not surprised you declined.
You have to suggest. Let's not take this
Well,
any
fuck you then.
until we meet again.
Spy. Spy? There you are.
Ready? Hurry up! This way!
Get ready for fighting. Pick your feet up.
Yeah, taking on Mosul now will just put me at a very secure spot. Because, I don't know, it seems the Northern Dunedain have just gone full retard and just sitting there, which I'm perfectly happy with. And there's still the invasion on Luminos, which I am so happy I managed to pull off.
Kill them all. Chop 'em. Is that what
Couple
you
of
want?
pikemen. Pikemen will hurt. I'm seriously not overly concerned. Considering the pikemen and pikemen have shit stats as it is. It would take me 2 turns to siege them out, so I'm just going to do that actually. I don't think they'll have time to send reinforcements.
No sleeping.
So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Imladris. I'm not even sure what taking the ring would do for me. I have a feeling it would be like Sauron just goes like, hey, give me that ring within 10 turns or I fuck you, and then I have to send a character with the ring all the way down to Mordor. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Evil army grows. Variants of Khand. Well,
What is it, you mincer of words?
they actually have some semblance of an army here now.
Destroy them.
2 turns. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Oh. I almost thought it said Theoden at first. Oh boy, they have Dunedain Blade Masters. Now, those are not broken in the slightest. That's the only downside to Bree. They get access to a few Dunedain units. But it's not a whole lot, so it's not the end of the world.
Be gone.
Well, speaking of which, it will seem I have friends. Shit. Huh. If they're staggered, I can take them, so yeah, I'll do that.
Get ready for
They'll attack me and I'll just charge them head on. I think that's the best course of action to go with. Dwarves are still not pushing in, good. The Dunedain aren't doing anything. I think the AI for them might have bugged out actually. But yeah. Let's see what happens now. Another 20 turns. This is actually a good thing. Yeah, they have for the most part poopy units, so this is actually not a terrible thing for me. Because their reinforcements will come from back. If I can kill them off, I'll be happy. And then I'll just kill off whatever comes from the front, so to speak. Because their reinforcements will have to spawn at the edge of the map where I can position my entire army. Because unlike newer Total Wars, you can tell exactly where the enemy is going to come from. Hi there, enemy. Which is just not giving their units the advantage. Pikemen on halberds. Halberds should have the advantage.
If we continue like this,
But I'm going to push through the marauders anyway. And these units are just way too far in the back to be a concern. They're even not helping, which is kind of hilarious. Enemy general fallen. That should be this entire force crumbling soon. Routing, routing, routing. Yep, they're dead.
only half the enemy force remains.
I'm curious as to why the AI is going into defensive position when they themselves attacked. This is why I kinda like to have timer on, because then I could just let the timer run out and be like, lol, you done guffed. But that's not an option for me, and I can't exactly sit around here waiting for an eternity either, so... we're going to have to march on them. This is going to be a long and boring march. At least my units are still fresh. While losing 12% of my army, and they lost 55% of theirs. Fighting Bree is so much better than fighting the Northern Dunedain. Because the Northern Dunedain, like even the basic spearmen, which are the Dunedain Wardens, are just... they're so powerful. Like, yeah, sure, the units take long to replenish the recruitment pool, yes, but... so good. And that becomes less and less of an issue the more cities you have. Like, I've played Northern Dunedain once, back in patch 0.5. Like, in the beginning, yeah, it's like you don't have a whole lot of units, your economy's kind of poopy, but when you get your economy running, and you start having a few cities, not only are the units really good, but they're also extremely cheap, so when you get the bigger cities, one city of those, like, if you get something like Moria can keep your entire army in good standing when it comes to economy. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, any concern are the Dunedain Rangers. The Dukehain ones sending the Marauders in first, because they have shields. There are the Rangers, as expected. Even with the shields, they're just taking so much damage. It doesn't have to accidentally set them to not run. Perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Fairly certain I said you just move up like that.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
You go after those, you go after those. I guess you're gonna have to go after those. Seems the AI is being weird. Okay, sure, why not? I just need you to kill things. Yeah, you're losing bad to the Rangers, which I'm not surprised by. This is really just a mop of operation. They just don't have the numbers.
If we continue
Like,
this,
yeah, they have better units, but I just,
badly bloodied.
particularly in this case, I just had the number to just envelop them. And there's nothing they can do about it. Feel free to kill these people. Nothing would please me more.
The battle is very much in our favor.
The more you kill, the
Victory will
better.
be ours.
And these are just being dumb. Typical AI. Because AI is not programmed to realize it has no way of winning. So it will just do this for all eternity. Instead of just letting the player win. Just make his units run away. For fucking forever. Until you finally catch them as they get stuck on a rock.
Victory will be ours.
But that's really only an issue with skirmish cavalry and whenever you don't have any cavalry of your own. Because normally you'd just be able to hunt down the enemy infantry with your own cavalry. Assuming you have cavalry, that is. If you don't, well, then you're gonna have to run after the enemy archers.
My lord.
Handsome? I mean, I'm not looking at a whole lot of units here. I can just kill off the last ones.
We've destroyed the enemy.
Let's see how the game acts now. Oof. Turn times are starting to take long. Sometimes I do that. A gas rat. We're not playing Vermintide now. Haha, I'm so funny. It wouldn't be the end of the world if I had another general. It wouldn't be, particularly since the free upkeep. I keep them in the right places. Let's see. What time is it? It's that. Do we have time for another battle?
Come and get me, you coward.
Oh? I won't try to keep the episodes below an hour. At this point on, like, anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. That's where I think I want to keep the episodes. Don't want to make them too long. And we have made decent progress. I mean, we took back Tirduin. We're besieging Amansul. Next turn, we'll take Amansul. I don't see any way of losing these battles. I mean, look at the units. They're all trash except for these. They actually have catapults now. And after I take Amansul, they'll be crippled. I can send down these units down to help push into Bree itself. But that's going to have to wait for the next episode. So until then,